Well, we'll talk energy specifically in a moment, but before we do that, one of the slogans of the Orange Revolution was "send the bandits to jail." That is the sort of Ukrainian version of the oligarchs, the corrupt people in politics and business who many Ukrainians believed were doing their country down and milking their country. Can you point to any individual at the top of politics and business who has yet been charged and prosecuted as a result of this "send the bandits to jail" mentality?
No, I cannot. And therefore, that was one of the reasons why in 2006 the opposition came to power. And that was one of the reasons why this government is committed to learn the lessons. One of the lessons, it's not enough to say send bandits to the prison, that institutional element is vital. Without judicial reform, without fair and independent courts, the slogan will doom to remain an empty slogan. Therefore, one of the priorities of Tymoshenko government is judicial reform.
Okay. Will Ms. Tymoshenko launch an official investigation into one company which she in the past has adamantly accused of involvement in criminal activity? That is RosUkrEnergo, the key energy company which was the go-between between your country and Gazprom in the major energy deal which supplied gas to Ukraine. Will there be an investigation?
Yeah, Tymoshenko is consistent in considering the RosUkrEnergo as the fundamental case of the non-transparency in the energy sphere. It's not just her point of view, it's a point of view of various experts, including the respectable NGO here based in London, the Global Witness. Therefore, we need to clean the stables, and part of the cleaning the stables exercise has to do to get rid of the RosUkrEnergo.
So there are key, important and powerful businessmen at the top of that company. Are you telling me that they will face investigation and possible trial?
I think the transparency should be, the RosUkrEnergo should not be excluded from this principled policy aimed at transparency. Therefore, nobody should be immune from a fair investigation if there is a need to do this.
Well, she has said on the record quite clearly, indeed she said it to the BBC in late 2006, that criminal elements were involved and she had the evidence. So I'm asking you now, will that evidence be put before a court and will there be a trial?
Yeah, every effort will be made to bring those who are corrupt and who has links to the shadow business, including intermediaries in the energy sphere. Every effort will be made to bring them to responsibility.
When?
And RosUkrEnergo.
When?
We are committed. We are doing this.
You've told me you're committed, but
when
Ukrainians want to know when.
Stephen, look, let me finish. What the government is doing now, it's declared its principled position. One, there is no need in the intermediary, whether it's RosUkrEnergo or any other intermediary, while for transparent relationships in the energy sphere with our Russian counterparts. Two, if there is an implications and there is a credible evidences that there were Ukrainian civil servants or Ukrainian businesses who were part of these criminal activities, they should be investigated in a transparent manner and brought to the responsibility. The government is committed to do this.
Is it a problem for Prime Minister Tymoshenko that she is trying, she says, to clean up the energy sector in particular? She made millions and millions of dollars, personally, herself, in the 1990s from the energy sector.
Look, there are three sources of the leaders in the post-Soviet space. One source is party nomenclatura, which Tymoshenko was never part of. The second source is the so-called raid directors, as the former President Kuchma, who was the director of the huge industrial military plant. And the third source is business. So Tymoshenko came to politics from the business.
Well, I know that. That's why I asked you the question. Is there a credibility problem? A Prime Minister who says she is committed to cleaning up business and politics, the elite established names who time and again are at the top of politics, also making vast amounts of money. And it turns out she's one of them.
Just two facts. Tymoshenko is the most investigated politician in Ukraine. And no credible evidence have been provided to prove the rumors that she was part of these criminal activities. Number two, when she was a Deputy Prime Minister in the Yushchenko government back in 1999-2000, She made every effort to remove barter from the energy operations and monitorize the sphere, which is part of the transparency. So her activity and her stable record, the person who is able to deliver and clean the stables is the best guarantor that she is not part of this business.
You're currently in the United Kingdom. You're talking to European governments about Ukraine's claim to be thoroughly